right, folks, you are watching Downshift Pass. My name is Chad, and I thank you for checking out another one of my reviews. Now, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. If you are not new here, welcome back to the channel. And guys, let's go ahead and hop into today's review. I'm very excited about. We have the Tesla Model Y Performance Edition. All right, folks, so let's do a quick little walk around and talk about the Model Y for a moment here. Now, this car was introduced back in 2019 for the 2020 model year. That was the first year they went on sale, and it quickly became Tesla's best-selling model. Now, this particular one that we are looking at is the Performance Edition. Now, you do get a couple of extra goodies with the Performance. Of course, number one being that acceleration that everyone knows about. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, something we will for sure take a look at. So let's talk styling of the Tesla Model Y. Now, if you can't tell, this car is based completely on the Model 3, so styling is going to be extremely similar. Same headlights, same fog lights up front. Now, your headlights and fog lights are LED, as well as your turn signals up front. I think it gives it a nice, really upscale look, especially at nighttime when you're driving by. It just looks really good. Now, you'll notice that this car has a lot of sensors as well as a lot of cameras. On this front bumper here, you do have sensors that help with the full self-driving capabilities. And then if you take a look at the windshield up there, there are actually 3 separate cameras that also help with the full self-driving capabilities. Now, coming along the side here is, I think, the best look for this car, the side profile, especially in its performance model. You have those 21-inch Uber turbine wheels. Now, up front, your tires are a 255/35 R21, and then on back you have a 275/35 R21, so it's a little bit wider in the back. Now, this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, so even with those offset wheels, it's kind of letting you know it has a rear-wheel drive bias as far as driving it goes. And then, of course, you see those red brake calipers back there. Now, I know I told you you get a couple of extra goodies with the Performance, and seeing those red brake calipers, one, lets you know that you have the Performance, and two, lets you know that those are actually Brembo brakes that they place on the Performance. So some really nice, strong brakes to help with that nice, very strong acceleration that this car has. Now, taking a look at the front fender, you see an additional camera right there as well for reverse camera as well as the full self-driving capabilities, and it's actually a turn signal on there as well. Then, of course, you have your power folding mirrors. Coming along to the B pillar, there is another camera that you see there again for full self-driving capabilities. So really nice styling on the side here. And then as you come along to the back is when I think the Model Y starts to look a little awkward. The proportions just don't sit as well as they do on the Model 3 on a sedan model. Now, your tail lights are also LED, turn signal, reverse light, all LED back here. And this one has a carbon fiber spoiler on the back, which looks really, really good, I think, back here, especially on this deep blue metallic color. And the one thing that everybody's going to be looking out for in the back of this car is, of course, a dual motor badge, but that red underline under the dual motor badge. That lets you know that, again, this is a performance model, but you do have 2 independent electric motors on the front axle as well as the rear axle that propels this car 260 in 3.5 seconds. But as far as styling goes, that's pretty much it. I think it's a really neat looking car. When it first came out, I didn't know how I felt about it. The more I look at it and especially drive it, I kind of fall more and more in love with it. But tell me what you think down in the comments below of the styling of the Tesla Model Y. And which would you choose, the Model Y or the Model 3 as far as styling goes? Does the taller profile make a difference to you, or what? Just let me know. All right, let's go ahead and hop inside. All right, guys, here at the rear of the Model Y, I have my phone pulled up here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'll try to put it on the screen if not, but you can control everything through your phone. This is your actual physical key. Whatever phone you have, this is your key. So if I want to open the trunk, I just press the trunk button here and it pops right up. Now this does have 68 cubic feet of space in the rear with the seats folded up. Now if you want to let those rear seats down, you do have two controls over here. You just pull one, folds down, pull the other, and it folds down. Now of course there is no way to pull it back up except manually, so you will have to walk around to the side of the car to let these seats back up, but at least you have that power folding option to let them down. Now under here you do have a lot more storage space as well. So you have tons of storage space back here, and I love the way that it will sit up for you. So if you need to put things under there, you don't have to keep fumbling with it, and you know, it just holds itself up to give you that convenience there. So that's a really neat little feature there. And then of course this is a power tailgate. You do have a button here. You just push it, or you push it on the on your key, or you push it on the screen inside the car, and it lets right on down. All right guys, and this is Tesla's front trunk, or frunk as they call it. If you want to open it, all you do is push a button inside the vehicle, or again use your phone, and it will open as well. No latch or anything to unlatch. It pops open, and then you can just pull it open here. It does open to 6.6 cubic feet of space, so not that much, but just enough for a weekend bag or a party trick when you're at the grocery store and want to show everybody that you can put things in the front of your vehicle. So pretty neat. And to close it, simple as that, and it shuts. You want to make sure it is closed all the way. Safety first. All right folks, so opening the door to the Model 3 is a lesson in patience. You kind of figure out what works best for you. I find my thumb and then my hand opens it the best, and we open up to this beautiful, gorgeous white interior. I'm telling you, camera does it no justice, pictures do it no justice. You really have to see this for yourself and see how beautiful this white leather is. Now, of course, this being an electric vehicle, the leather is a vegan material, so it is something that's going to be sustainable for the earth, just like this car. Now, you do have 40 inches of leg room back here. I do have the driver's seat in the exact position that I would be sitting in, and I have more than enough space. Of course, electric vehicles have no transmission, so you don't have a transmission hump in the middle. It's all just flat. You do have your power window switches back here, and to open the door, there is actually no physical door handle. You just have a button, push on it, and it opens right up. Now, as far as features in the back seat, of course, you do have your air vents. They do give you two USB-C controls, which I'm so happy they're USB Type-C. You do have your map pockets on both seats, as well as pockets in the doors as well. Now, you do have a armrest right here that has two cup holders, and that is pretty much it. Of course, I can't miss the best part, which is going to be this roof. I mean, this is the largest glass panel that I have ever seen in a vehicle, and it looks amazing. I love how it gives you an unobstructed view. There's no lines in it. You know, it doesn't open or vent or anything, of course, but it's just one large piece of glass. Sorry about it's, you know, all the reflection that you see, but that's that white leather for you. Now, a lot of people wonder what this is like to drive on a daily. They tint it so well that there's the sun and it's not terribly hot. I don't feel like the sun is beaming down on me. It's actually very, very comfortable. And when you're in the front seat, you really don't notice it as much. But speaking of the front seat, let's go ahead and hop up there. All right, folks. So of course, with the key in my pocket, hand on the handle, pull it open. And this is the front driver's seat of the Tesla Model Y. Now, of course, minimalist styling is what they are going for with this car. So you do have physical buttons on the doors, on your steering wheel, and that is literally it. So let me go ahead and hop inside and shut this door. Now, if you saw my last Tesla video, you know exactly how to start a Tesla up. All you do is put your foot on the brake. You hear that beeping, that lets you know the car is on. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this air up a little bit. It's a hot day out here in Atlanta. But pretty much it's the same as in the back. Of course, you have a button, again, to open your door. Now, one neat thing in the front seat is, say if that goes out, for some reason, you do have a handle right here that you can actually pull to open the door. You just pull on it and it opens. Now, the car will let you know that the manual door release is used, and it may cause damage to the window trim. So it's not something that you want to make a habit of, but in case of an emergency or in case you need it, you do have that option. Of course, your steering wheel, you do have your two steering wheel controls. This is actually how you control everything, you name it, you choose it on the screen, and then it lets you control it here. So your mirrors, your steering wheel controls, all is controlled through these two buttons. You do have voice control in this car as well. You just push on this button, say what you want to say, and the car will do whatever it needs to do. Here is your gear shift lever here. If you want to put the car in gear, you just keep your foot on the brake and go all the way down for drive. And you can kind of hear that whirring noise, which is actually the parking brake releasing. If you want to go in neutral, you just go up one, reverse, you do it again. And park is actually a button on the side here. You just push that, and the car goes into park. Now, speaking of reverse, this is what I was talking about previously. So you have a nice large screen here that shows everything that you need it to show. Now, it does have trajectory. You see it will definitely turn with your steering wheel inputs. And those two cameras that I showed you on the fender, it's going to be the left side here and your right side here, so you can see everything that you need to see. All right, now controlling the Model Y, everything is done through this 15-inch screen. It seems like it could be a task to learn, but I promise you it is so easy. And I'm actually really digging that they did this. I like the no buttons. I love the minimalist design that they put in here. Usually you have a wood grain here, but this one actually has a white color where you would have the wood grain, and everything again is controlled here. So you have your different options. It shows your PSI, it shows your time since your last charge. If you want to open the trunk, you just push here. If you want to open the frunk, which is the front trunk, you just push on that and it pops open. You do have to manually open that one, but you can also close it. So I'm going to do that, and look at the animation on the screen as you do it. It's just so very neat. One neat thing as well is, let me see, I'm going to let the window down. I hope it shows, but if I let the window down, look at that, it goes down as the window is going down. It's not just even a there and not there. It literally, what the window is doing is actually showing that animation on this screen. So a neat little Easter egg that I think is on here. If you turn the wheel, it's going to turn the wheel. Everything is so neat. So I'm definitely going to do another video, and I'll post a link down below of just showing this infotainment system, because it's a lot to show. And if you saw my Model S video, it's pretty similar. There are a couple of subtle differences, and I'll definitely go over those differences as well. But make sure you check out that video if you want a in-depth review of everything that this infotainment system can do. Now, haven't even started taking a look at it, but again, the cabin here. Now, the owner of this vehicle actually put a wrap here. It's usually a piano black, which is right here, but he has a wrap here. This is going to be your wireless charging system. You have two places to place your phone to wirelessly charge, and then of course you have storage here, two cup holders, as well as more storage here, and this actually comes up and out. Now, of course, this does have your heated driver and passenger seat. All your climate controls are controlled through here. I'm sure you noticed that there is nothing even on the dash for your vent controls, and that is all controlled through here. So you just use your finger and it does whatever you need it to do, goes wherever you need it to go, so you can get it perfectly placed. It seems a little difficult at first, but definitely something that you can get used to. So that is your climate control. All your vehicle controls are here. Your music controls are here. So you can connect your phone, streaming, Bluetooth, anything is all done there. If you want to just pull the camera up, you do have that option as well. Again, there are those two cameras. You can actually lower this here and just have your rear view camera, or push this button and it'll show the driver and passenger side fender cameras. And you can control your windshield wipers on this screen as well. You have your other options. Of course, this car does have the internet browser. As well, if you go to entertainment, that's where you can play games. If you're charging, have a lot of different games to choose from. Or if you click theater up here, your Netflix, your Hulu, your YouTube, follow down shift pass if you have not. And toy box is where you can do the fireplace, make tracks such as musical tracks basically, and then emissions is basically when you have the car fart on demand. Again, not sure why you would want that, but it's a Tesla and I appreciate the quirkiness of this car. But that is pretty much it as far as the quick overview of what this infotainment does. Let's go ahead and get into the drive. All right, guys, setting off in the Tesla Model Y Performance here. Of course, to put a Tesla into gear, to start the Tesla, you just put your foot on the brake, put it into gear. You have your gear stalk here, go all the way down for drive, and you are off. One quick note that I love about this vehicle is it has driver profile. So basically think memory seats in your regular vehicles, except there's an unlimited number, it seems, of people that you can add to this vehicle. And if your phone is attached to it, you just walk up to the car and it knows who the driver is and what your settings are without you even having to do it. And if you need to choose your driver profile, you just click your name up there and go down to your name or any other name that you want to switch to. But let's go ahead and get this Model Y on the road. I'm going to hit the highway pretty early here because a lot of people I know are interested in what it's like highway driving, as far as highway noise, tire noise, wind noise, especially in an electric vehicle. So nice, we got a red light up here, so I'm going to go ahead and give it an acceleration run as soon as this light turns green for you guys. Now again, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Horsepower and torque figures, of course, can change with Tesla, so I'll go ahead as of the date and put on the screen what the horsepower and torque numbers are. Depending on when you're watching this vehicle, you might want to check those numbers as well, because with software updates, Tesla can change that with a download. Here we go. Oh my God. Wow. Woo. I don't think I will ever get used to that. Ever get used to that. Couldn't tell you how fast we were going. The speed is so blistering that you're not even looking at the speedometer. You're just looking at where you're going. Hands on the wheel, tight grip, white knuckle, just making sure that you get there safely. All right, but we are on the highway in the Model Y here. And the first thing that you will notice, the first thing I noticed was same thing I noticed in the Model S, was just how much noise there was not. I thought you would hear a lot of wind noise, or even that you would be missing something, not having that engine noise behind you, but you actually don't. It just feels like you're in a car coasting right along. Now, if you look on the screen here, this is where your blind spot monitoring system is. So this car actually does not have a blind spot monitoring system in the rearview mirrors like your normal cars, but it all shows on this screen right here. And you can see you can even turn it, zoom in, zoom out. I love when you're going past something and you accelerate. Watch this. And the car just zooms on past it. And then eventually it'll center itself back to where it needs to be. Now, visibility in this car is really good, especially compared to the Model 3. So if you are considering this against the Model 3, if you think you want to sit up higher or want more cargo space or easier access to your cargo, because of course this is a hatch, that's a big thing to consider, is the visibility. Very large windshield here, nice sight lines out the side. The windowsill is not too high at all, so you have really good visibility, especially out the back. When you look in your rearview mirror, you just see that nice huge rear panel of glass, and you can see everything pretty clearly out of it. Now, this vehicle is equipped with the autopilot system, of course, as well as the full self-driving system. Now, the full self-driving system essentially is the one that will steer, switch lanes, go from ramp to ramp for you without you essentially not having to touch the wheel. Now, every 15 to 20 seconds or so, the car will let you know that you need to put your hand on the wheel if your hands are completely off. But let's go ahead and give that a try. Now, I don't have anything in the navigation system right now, but I'll show you how it switches lanes on its own when you give it the okay to do so technically. Now, to put it in autopilot, your gear shift lever here on the right, you just press down on that twice, and you hear that noise, and that lets you know that you are in full self-driving mode. So now we're just going to drive along here and give you a little bit more insight into the Model Y. Watch how it handles this corner here. And this is all hands-free. Something I absolutely love. I got a chance to drive this Model Y in traffic, and I love driving. I don't mind, I don't mind shifting gears. I don't mind just driving Oh, it cut itself off. Okay, here we go. I don't mind just driving in general, but I will tell you something. When I was in traffic and I put this autopilot system on, I mean, I was in heaven. You realize just how convenient it is. And you know what? Let's go ahead and switch lanes here. I'm going to put the blinker on. The car is going to see an open lane and it's going to get itself over. And it's going to continue on and then catch up to the speed that it was at. But as I was saying, I don't mind driving, but when I was in traffic and the car would slow down, speed up, if I put the blinker on, it would get over. It saved me so much, I don't know, just energy, and I wasn't as fatigued when I got to my destination. I'm driving through Atlanta right now, and if you know Atlanta, you know Atlanta's traffic. And let me tell you something, this is a lifesaver. If you're a person that drives a lot for work, if you're a real estate agent, just anything, then this car will definitely save you that headache, basically. Now, one thing electric cars are known for is their instantaneous torque. That's what makes them so much fun to drive. So no matter what speed you're going at, you literally have 100% of your torque 100% of the time. There isn't a buildup, there isn't anything. So if I mash on the gas now, I mean, it's unbelievable what this car does. If you're an enthusiast, if you're really looking for power, if you just want something a little bit more fun than your regular Model Y, then the performance model is the way to go. Now, the one thing you're going to want to consider with all this power as far as choosing the performance model is going to be the range. Now, I wanted to make sure that this battery was 100% full. I listened to you guys on my Tesla Model S video. It was not full, but I did not have a lot of time with that one. But I wanted to make sure this one was completely full. And with a full charge, the car is saying that it's going to go 292 miles. Now, 292 miles, all things considered, it's really not that bad. Of course, if you just go for the regular long range model, you're going to get more mileage. It's going to be well over 330, but you're going to get a little less than 300 in this car, and all depending on how you drive, the air conditioning, just so many different factors. You're obviously not going to get that full 292 miles, but something very, very close to it. So definitely something to consider if range is something that's important to you. Now, you do have different drive modes in this car as well. I have this one, everything in its sportiest setting. The steering is in its sportiest setting. Let's see here, driving. Acceleration, they have chill and sport. I have it in its sportiest setting. The steering mode is comfort, standard, or sport. And then the braking I have in standard as well. And that's just how hard the car slows down if I take my foot off the brake. Acceleration in sport. Oh my gosh. That is sport mode. As you can see, it pulls unbelievably hard. Now, you can quickly change it to chill mode, and I'm going to floor it now, and you'll probably be able to notice the difference. You can definitely feel it in the seat. I hope that it translates to camera. Here we go. So this is my foot to the ground in chill mode. So it is a noticeable difference. And again, if you get just your standard version, you're definitely going to have the different drive modes. It's just not going to have as aggressive of a pull, especially from a standstill. Now, of course, you know this would not be a downshift pass review without an audio test. So I am going to go ahead and cut us on a song so we can listen to. I'm also going to have the car in autopilot while we do it, so you can listen to the stereo and see the car actually drive itself, all at the same time. One big note, and I think a missed opportunity for Tesla, hopefully in the future they fix it. This car does not have Android Auto, nor does it have Apple CarPlay, which is bananas in 2020 that the car does not even offer that. Now, I will say the standard infotainment system is amazing. I'm sure you can see this large screen. You see the large map. It's very responsive. You can zoom in, zoom out, turn, do whatever you need to do. You can speak to it as well. It's a very good system, but lacking Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. Now, of course, you do have Bluetooth, so I'm going to be playing this song over Bluetooth. So let me know what you think of the stereo system, and without further ado, let's get it started. And that is the upgraded audio system in the Tesla Model Y Performance. I'm going to keep it in autopilot here and let the car do its thing. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below of the stereo system. Now, I will say I did have to play with the settings a little bit to make it to my liking. The stereo is a really good stereo. It has great volume, pretty good treble, lots and lots of bass, and that's where I think it kind of goes wrong a little bit. The bass can be a little too boomy, especially if you cut it up too high. It starts to distort a little bit. Let's see how it handles this curve here. It's pulling right on through. I love this full self-driving and autopilot system in this Tesla. But back to the stereo. Yeah, the bass is just a little too boomy for me, but once you cut it down and you play with the settings a little bit, it can sound really, really good. And it drowns out a lot of the wind noise that you hear. It sounds really amazing with all the windows down at highway speeds. Again, the only thing is the clarity starts to get a little drowned out if you have it too high. But definitely go for the upgrade stereo system if you're looking at the Model Y or any Tesla for that matter. I definitely think it's worth the upgrade. All right, guys, so autopiloting into my final thoughts on the Tesla Model Y. You know, I really love this vehicle. I'm not 100% sold on electric vehicles just yet. I love engine noise. I love the visceralness of hearing that. I love shifting gears still. But one thing I also love is this. Sitting here, luxuriating on this vegan leather seat, you know, heated seats, of course. Comfortable seats, good support for the seat. I think it could use a little bit more support for the performance model, but this is a crossover, so I mean, you're not going to be tracking it. Can it do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds? Absolutely, but that's just the nature of the beast. When you have an electric vehicle, you're going to have that power. Even in the long range model, I mean, you're looking at 0 to 60 in the 5-second range, 5.5-second range, so I mean, that's no slouch either. But I wanted to really focus on this car itself. I think you see a lot of reviews focusing on the things that Tesla gets wrong as far as build quality and you know, panel gaps and different things that they can fix. But Tesla is a relatively new company, especially to making the Model 3 and the Model Y, and I think they're doing a really good job. And what they're focusing on right now is what's most important to electric vehicles, which is the infrastructure, as well as, you know, the batteries and the things that move the vehicle. second generation, and as the iterations of the cars continue on, I think Tesla is going to focus more on the build quality, and they already have the most important thing down, which is, again, battery packs. They have the best range, they have the best performance, the best acceleration, they have the best of everything that makes an EV an EV. Once they get the build quality down and what makes, you know, the legacy companies electric vehicles better, which would be, again, the build quality, the seats and everything. Once they get that down pat, Tesla's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. You know, electric is the future. As much as I don't want to say I hate, but as much as it pains me to say it, this is going to be the future. And who's in the forefront right now? Absolutely Tesla. So I appreciate you guys watching. Of course, like and subscribe this video if you learned something from it. Share with a friend as well. My name is Chad, and I thank you for watching Downshift Pass. Bye-bye.